Whole fact. And it's just like a day of shame where it's
You
just
don't love me, bitch. Chucky said to stab you.
She feeling saucy, I'm feeling sturdy. I got a 4-piece, up in the 30. They tryna hold me, she like Curry. They feeling salty, I'm feeling sturdy.
Culture
Yo,
Vulture of the week, Roy. What we got?
oh man. I was watching some fucking skit on one of them websites, and I just seen these ladies motherfucking fighting over a PS5. And it was like the most embarrassing and sad thing I ever seen. And I was like, and one lady was popping so much shit. She's like, yeah, bitch, bitch, you got the right one today. And then the other little lady, she was popping less shit. And then she was just like the little lady, a couple minutes go by, she's stomping on her head. And I was just like, damn, like you see what this dumbass holiday shit do to us. So culture vulture of the week is all these fucking consumers, man. I mean, these corporations that do all of this mass fucking production of all these goods that get these people in frenzies, that make your kids cry if they don't get shit. Like, it's just a mass programming that just needs to stop, and it's senseless. So yeah, shout out to them for getting their revenue up in a quarantine year that they wanted the government to give stimulus
Relief.
twice. But motherfuckers is still coming out with iPhones and Jordans and PlayStations and Xboxes. So go figure, man. Go figure what's on your priority list.
It's a whole fact.
Yeah, man. I just think it's nuts, man. I remember seeing like a kid be upset that he didn't get a PlayStation 5, but he got like a PS4 Pro. And he was just like,
That's funny as hell.
Yeah, it is.
Some niggas would stab their moms in their sleep for that. These kids this generation.
Whole fact. And it's just like a day of shame where it's
you don't love me, bitch. Chucky said to stab you. You don't fucking love me. Yeah, that shit is crazy, man. You got to be careful out here.
Well, yeah,
but at the end of the day, if that's why we need to take our culture back. We need to program our people our way.
Well, you know, Soulja Boy came out with a gaming console, but they sued him.
No, that shit was trash. That's what it was.
They said it was too close to the Nintendo Switch or the Wii. So they sued him.
That's interesting. I remember him saying that shit.
Yeah, it was a little bit more to it than just that. The fact that he came out with something and then he just tried to release it and wanted people to buy shares into his fucking bullshit company. That's what the problem was.
Well, no, he couldn't deliver the product because they said it was too close.
Well, shout out to I heard something about Meek, Dirk, and them wanting to start a streaming service or some shit like that.
I think you niggas are missing the biggest part about Jay in talks with Square to sell Tidal.
Yeah, I was about to say that too.
That's huge.
Yeah,
was they in talks or was Square just interested?
No, they're highly interested, and I heard that they were in negotiations. And Square is that company that that offers the little.
Jack Dorsey went directly to Jay-Z and was like, "Hey, listen, this is something that we want to do." Like,
I don't see that happening.
It's a really big deal.
I don't see that happening.
Why? I don't understand the why. Why would that company want
Square?
Tidal?
Because they're trying
to. It makes sense.
Yeah, they're launching a super platform.
Yep.
It makes sense.
So instead of having
music, perfect.
Direct to consumer, like you'll be able to cash like transactions straight to the artist.
Yeah.
I don't gotta register for no royalty. That transaction coming straight to me.
Yeah, Square's a massive company that you can acquire a bunch of different things, and the simple fact of them getting Tidal, it just makes their service better.
Hope's too smart to do that deal.
And
that doesn't sound like a bad deal.
It
doesn't sound like a bad deal. It is. It technically it's a bad deal for our culture.
Yeah,
because we pride ourselves on ownership.
Something lucrative, but it goes back to where a company's job is how long can we keep you to the screen? So you want to see this movie? Well, check this artist out too. Check out their profile. Check out their latest music releases. Check out their latest videos. We have it all here on this platform, so you don't have to go anywhere. You could just spend all your time on here, watch these advertisements, let us get some stuff on the back end, and boom. That's really what it is. So if they do that, then that's great.
Blow the culture. That's a blow the culture.
I don't know, man. You gotta keep in mind too that like Square's positioning themselves against Apple, because currently right now it's just Tidal against Apple, right? And Tidal isn't they're nowhere near the size that Apple is.
Spotify has been climbing a little bit. They have their podcast department now that's trending upwards.
Yeah, but as far as like true ownership, right? Like Tidal and Apple, like those are your two services. Like Spotify is like, yeah, they're clear middle because you can just get anything in between, and Apple Music is there too. But for the most part, Tidal isn't the biggest player in the field. So positioning themselves with Square kind of puts them directly in opposition of Apple, simply because of Facebook. Like it's
I think Apple
really
is in a class of its own at this point. Apple.
Exactly, it is. But you get Square, you get with Tidal, it just makes them that much smaller.
It puts them closer for sure, but I think Apple is at a point where they don't really care about what's going on in the market as much as we think they do. They are deciding on what's the next step to take for themselves. They don't really look at everybody else. They are the trendsetters of the market.
You'd be surprised, not anymore.
Hope still do business with Apple. They still do business with Apple. Apple not too long ago did the exclusive release on Beyonce's album.
Lemonade.
You know what I'm saying? So Apple, they still do business with Apple. So it's a necessary evil. So culture vulture of the week for me is Christmas, right? Christmas is like the biggest culture vulture in the world to me, right? Because see, the jig is up for me. I've been woke. So these stimulus checks that they sent us out last year, we don't realize we stimulate economy.
That was this year.
Relief.
Well, they sent the stimulus checks out March?
Earlier this year, yeah.
Right, this year, right? But Christmas is us stimulating the economy every year. That's us stimulating the economy every year. It doesn't. A lot of businesses suck all year long until Christmas, and then it just make their bag, and then they go on vacation for the rest of the year until next Christmas, right? So the biggest culture has always been Christmas for me. So yeah, and then when you look at the origins of Christmas and how long Christmas has been on the planet, it just doesn't even make sense for Black people.
Every time I talk about a holiday. No holiday makes sense if you say you are Black for you. So if you want to say, hey, I don't want to even get into it, but if you just look at the basic history that they teach you about you and where you come from, it doesn't play into the same equation in the same timeline. It doesn't sound like when they got to Africa and they was taking niggas and putting them on boats that they had Bibles, King James Bibles and verses back then. So, hey, I just don't understand.
No, they did. They did.
With some variant of.
That's how they did it. That's how they did it. But the origin of Christmas is younger than that. The origin of Christmas is way younger than that. The origin of Christmas comes from Turkey with a saint named Santa Cruz who used to go around putting little gifts in homeless people's shoes. So around December 25th, homeless people used to leave their shoes out because they know Santa Cruz used to come through and leave little presents in there for the homeless. So that shit ain't us though.
Exactly. Yeah. So I don't know where I don't think they had the King James Version in the Bible in Africa. I don't think that. That's just my personal just thoughts of it. I just don't think that, but we don't have to get into that. But yeah, I heard that, but no shout outs to them because again, fuck that culture. Let's talk about that Kwanzaa. Let's talk about our culture. You know what I mean? That's what we here to.
She feeling saucy. I'm feeling sturdy. I got a 4-piece. Up in the 30. They tryna hold me. She like curry. They feeling salty. I'm feeling sturdy.